Okay, so I'm going to be doing a skin fade right now. I'll show you how to do a self-cut. I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way. So what you're going to need is a mirror, handheld mirror, and I got a big mirror on the wall so I can kind of see the back. Make sure you got a lot of light. Lighting is very important when you're cutting hair, so make sure you have that. And the tools that I'm using my Wahl Magic Clips. When you're doing a fade, you got to make sure that your clippers have this lever. It's called a taper lever, and this is what allows you to do the fade. So basically, you take steps to blend your fade so that it's smooth. So you open and close this lever so you can get different lengths. I'm gonna go through that. I'm gonna use this trimmer as well. So this is meant for the lineup, and it cuts much closer than clippers. So when I do a skin fade, I start off by shaving using this, and then I do another step using the straight razor, and I'll tell you how I do that as well. So these are the guards that I use. The guards allow you to get different lengths to go from short to long. So this is a 2 guard. You can see that it says, I hope you can see that. It says 2 right there. It also says 1/4 inch or 6 millimeters. So this is the longest length at the top of my head. This is what I normally use. You can use a 3 as well if you want, if you don't want to go that short. 2 isn't that short. And then the next one that I use is a 1 guard, which is 3 millimeters or 1/8 of an inch. Okay, 1/8, see right there. Okay. Oh, and in the middle of that, so this is a 1.5 guard. It says USA number 1.5, and this is 3/16 of an inch, or what is it? 4.5 millimeters. Okay. And then have a 0 guard. Most people call it a 0 guard, but it's a number half. So it says half right there, and this is what, 1.5 millimeters? Yeah, 1.5 millimeters or 1/16 of an inch. Okay. So I go from a 2, 1.5, 1, 0 guard, and then no guard with the clippers. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do all that. So one thing that I like to stick to is use the half guards. So you got a half and a 1.5. These are for blending. So to go from your 1 to 2 or your skin to a 1. So to go from your skin to 1, you're gonna use the half guard. To go from a 1 to 2, you're gonna be using 1.5 guard. And with each of them, you're going to be opening and closing the lever as well, so you can get different, so you can get a nice smooth blend. Okay. Now also, you see, so this is closed. You see that the blades are as close as possible, and this is open. So when I say open, it's longer, and closed is going to be shortest. Okay. And you can also do anywhere in between. So if you don't want to go as short as me, I'll get into it a little bit. But if you don't want to go as short as me, and you're going to blend a different length, for example, you can also go halfway, and you can blend out those lines. So how you do this is that you create a bunch of guidelines and slowly fade out the guidelines. But what I'm doing is just a skin fade. I'm not cutting the top. I want to go to the top a little bit, and I'm not trimming my beard. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to line up the beard, but not trimming the length. Make sure you get water everywhere. So the point of this is to easily move your hair out of the way. When it's wet, it's easy to manipulate. So what I want to do is start off on this side. So I'm going to go up to here with my 2 guard, or a little bit below that. I don't want to go right up to there. So I'm going to go right up to there, and I'm going to comb everywhere as well. And when I get to this side, I'm going to recomb this side. So I'm going to maybe move this up. I might even clip it if it's too hard for me to see. But for now, I'm going to start off on this side. But I also got to do the back too. Make sure that's good. If you have oil, make sure you always oil your clippers to maintain the life of it. So what you do is put a drop on this corner, drop on this corner, and then you're going to put a drop right over here as well, where the bottom of the blade touches. So I'm going to put it there, and across the whole blade. Just turn it on, shake it a little bit, make sure the oil gets in there nice. This is always the first step that I take. It's usually helpful, especially if you have long hair. My hair isn't that long, but if you have long hair and you cut down the bulk, it's a good way to really see what you're doing. Okay, so this is a 2 open. The reason I do a 2 open is so that I blend the long, I might trim a little bit of the long part right here, so that'll blend it nicely. And always, so let's just say you're fading, you always want to flick your wrist. You don't want to go straight up, or else it'll create hard lines. You always want to flick your wrist like this. So if this is your head, you just want to constantly flick, okay? And you might have to use both hands as well. So for this side, I'm going to use my left hand. So just try and get used to using both hands. I'm right-handed. Okay, so just going to take on this line, and when I get to the top, this is where I want to blend. So I'm going to be flicking out, just so I don't create any hard lines. And I'm going to be doing the same on this other side. So now I can comb it out of the way. You can use your hand or a hair clip to clip this down. I'm comfortable with my hand. Okay. Now I'm going to do the back. So I'm going to use this. My hair is still wet. If your hair gets dry, make sure that you wet it again. And again, comb down. Make sure you get a nice fine tooth comb. See how close this is? Make sure you use that. It's helpful to get all the hairs, especially the tiny hairs. Okay. This is where you especially need to flick out because I don't have my hand to guide me. So this is where you don't want to cut the top accidentally. Just keep on looking out for any dark spots. So if you see that it's not even, just keep an eye out for that and go back to it. Make sure that it's nice and even. And you can use it here on your clippers if you're cutting. So if you don't hear it cutting anymore, then you know you're probably good. It's also a good idea to clean your, if you have a brush of some sort, I hope you do, just clean off your clippers. It's good for the clippers. So as I said, I use the trimmers to get down really low so that I can get a skin fade. So use your trimmers. So if you don't have trimmers like these, or if you don't want to go short as me, you can. So again, this is closed, no guard closed. This is longer than what I'm going to be cutting with the trimmers. These trimmers hit really close. You can see how close these blades are compared to this. There's a little bit of a gap. The teeth are really close, so they cut nice and close. Okay, so that's why I do that. You can use this, and again, so let's just say I want to do a skin fade. I'll go create my first guideline, and then to blend that out, I'll go to my next open to create another guideline. So you'll have a line in between your close and open. So what I'm going to do to blend that out is halfway. Go halfway and flick that line out. But I'll show you how to flick these lines out. If you're just starting off for your first time, I recommend. So I do a high fade. I go up to here. I don't like having a C cup, but that's just how I like my haircuts. Start off low if you're starting out, so that you have a lot of room for air. If you make a mistake, you can raise a little bit, but once you go too high, there's no going lower. So make sure you start off low. I'll show you what I mean by a low cut, a low fade. This will be relatively low. This will be a low fade. And look in the mirror and try and pinpoint. So do both sides first. So go up to here, and again, I'm gonna have to connect it to the back. So I know that it's about at the corner of my eyebrow. So I'm gonna go here. This is the height that I'm gonna go to on this side. You see something here? Make sure you always oil your clippers, which I forgot to do. So oil them again at the corners and where it touches the blades, and right across. Turn it on. And again, I'm going to be flicking out. Always flick out because you don't want any hard lines. This line is relatively soft. If I just went there and stopped, it'd be a pretty hard line. So for the back, you have this bone right here, the occipital bone. You want to kind of go below that usually, or above that, never right on the bone. And again, the back is hard because your hair is a little bit thicker there because of that bone. Okay, I'm not going to go all the way across. So can see I stopped on this side. Now I'm going to go on the other side and do the same thing, and then just connect the two sides. So there's my first guideline, and then I'm going to be using the lever to blend it out. But this isn't what I want. I'm just showing this to you as a starting point. What I'm going to be doing is actually going up pretty high. So I'll show you that right now. So you can see how much of a difference it is. Go and take out the C cut. That's how I like my cuts. Even go straight across, make a straight guideline. I like having it curved a little bit. And always use a mirror. Your mirror is your best friend because it gives you so many different angles. So sometimes I can be looking here, but it'll look different from this angle using the mirror. You can see my bone that I'm talking about. You can see it sticking out here. I like going above that bone. So there's my first guideline. Okay. So I like doing a skin fade. I don't have what's called a shaver. So this isn't exactly skin, which is like really short, but I still feel hair. I like feeling it smooth right down to the skin. So I'm going to be using a straight razor. I'm just shaving it all. This is really hard to use if you're using it for the first time. I did cut myself when I first started learning this. So be careful with it, practice. The trick is to make sure you pull your skin really tight. So you gotta really use one hand to pull the skin and then the other hand to shave it, okay? If you're gonna be cutting for other people, make sure you practice on yourself first. It's better to cut yourself than to cut someone else. Not gonna get a serious cut, but you'll feel it, okay? So this is the razor. Basically just put the blade in and fasten it. There's lots of tutorials on how to put it in. I should have showed it, but okay. And again with this, you also want to be flicking. So when I get to the top of the line, I'm going to be flicking out so I don't create a hard line. And nice work. So using my feet, see how much it's possible. That's all I use my hands. Again, just feeling around to see that I got as smooth as I want it to be. Yeah, this side feels good too. And if I'm cutting for other people, I have a different shading gel, which is better. But for myself, so I don't really care. I'll just use water to lubricate it. Cool. I'll do this side. Put some water. You also see people using this for lineups. The trimmer makes that, the razor makes it nice and clean. Gives you a nice close cut. Make sure that your lineup is sharp. And again, be flicking out the whole time. This side is easier because I'm using my right hand. And I'm right-handed. So just gotta make sure you get used to using both hands. So you see when I did that flicking motion, there's no line from the trimmer to, again, I didn't go all the way up here. I went a little bit lower with the razor, and it blended nicely into where the trimmer was. So always make sure you flick. So now I need to blend this line. So as I said before, when you're using the guards, the half number guards are for blending, whole number guards are for creating guidelines. In the same way, I'm going to be creating a guideline with my guards open and blending out with closed. Okay, so my first guideline will be open. And you're going to want to go about half an inch up. And again, you can see, since I went high, I don't have a lot of room for error. If I go too high, the whole head's going to be too short. So if you're starting out, make sure you start off low, just in case you accidentally go too high. So make sure you start off low so that you have more room for error. If you start off like me for the first time, you don't have a lot of room for error, so just make sure that you're really precise with your cuts. And I like keeping my lineup dark, so I'm not going to be cutting all the way here. What I'm going to be doing a trick so I can blend it and keep this dark. So I'm not going to go right up to here, I'm going to start off over here. The same thing on, so you see this first guideline right here, and then I need to blend this out after. I'm going to do the same thing over here, still open. So you see this first guideline, and again on the back you want to leave a little bit more space because, as I said, because of this bone. So go a little bit higher than you did here. So if you want half an inch here, go up about another quarter inch. As I said before, the back hair is thicker, so you might have to cut a few times. So here, you can see that I got it thin as possible, but here it's a little bit darker, so I'm going to have to go again. So just go to that same height and keep on flicking. Go to the same height because the hair is thicker on the back. See this guideline, I'll show you around. I went up to here. And now I gotta blend out this bottom line. What I'm gonna do to blend out the bottom line, I had it open, lever open. I'm gonna close it and just flick at this line that I see right here. Okay? Don't go any higher. You're not creating a guideline, just blending. So what you're gonna do, go right up to the line. Once you get to the line, flick. And again, you'll hear that you're cutting. See that? All I'm doing is touching the line and flicking out. You're barely gonna hear the clippers cutting, but you'll hear a slight difference. My recommendation for this step, so if I'm going right up to here, don't start with the clipper right here. I like starting down and then working my way up, just in case you accidentally go too high when you're starting. You're starting too low where you're not going to cut anything because I have no hair here. So just start off lower. And after every cut, just make sure that you double check it. If you see any dark spots, one good tip. So I was blending here, and let's just say there was a spot right here that I couldn't quite get out. Use a corner. So I had the whole clip right here, just like this. Blend out with the corner. So the corner usually helps you get out the dark spots. So use a corner if you see any dark spots. I'm going to use my one guard, clip that on. And what I'm going to be doing, so I said that each guard you're going to go up about half an inch. This one, so as I said before, after I use a one guard, I'm going to be blending with a zero guard, so maybe go up a little bit higher than half an inch. Start off with one open, okay? This is one open. I said you blend with the closed guards. We'll open it and create our next guideline. You see this little block right here? So I'm okay with one going right to my lineup. So I'm just going to be blending that. I just didn't want my no guard to go to my lineup, that'd be too short. guideline right here. That's the one I just created. So I'm going to be blending this line out. Maybe I'll go a little bit higher actually. Yeah, I'm going to go higher. So I'm doing this so I have more space so I can use the zero guard. It'll be a nice blurry fade if I go a little bit higher. Now the long hair is getting in the way a little bit, so I'm going to use spray it. Okay, so you see this guideline that I made right here? I'll show you all around. We'll just clean all this off. Okay, so you see this guideline right here? It's going up to here, right here. Okay. So now I need to blend out this line right here. This one all the way around here. So it's still one guard, but I'm gonna close it. And again, just really touch the line. But again, what I said before is that I'm gonna be using a half guard. So you can afford to go a little bit high with this. Just don't go right up to the line, okay? With every step, I'm just gonna be softening the line until there isn't a recognizable line. That line is getting pretty soft. So it looks pretty good, but you can get it better. You can get a nice smoother blend. Okay, so you'll see that. Now what I'm going to do is use my half guard. Start with open and then close it. Zero guard, open, zero guard, open. And again, this time you're just hitting the line. Okay, hit the line and flick out. Don't go any higher. Now I'm going to close it and take the line out. So now just flick that line out. So same thing, the open doesn't do too much, but it kind of softens it. This one will really kick that line out. Now this is pretty smooth. I see that there's a little bit of a dark spot here. You guys see that? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I see it, and I'm gonna, again, it's always okay to go back If you see any mistakes, sometimes if you're not sure exactly what that length is, better to start off longer than short. So that might be a 0 guard open, but it may also be a 1 guard closed area. So I'm going to start with the 1 guard. If it doesn't take out that dark spot, I'm going to work my way down. Okay, I got it. So it turns out this is a 1 guard close area. So again, always make sure you start off long, and if you get it with the long length, the long guard, that's good. If not, just work your way down. So always make sure you're checking for mistakes. I saw that I made a mistake a long time ago. Just go back to it and fix it. You'll normally know the areas as you get more comfortable with it. You'll know the areas where to use each guard. So just always be looking out for any mistakes. Depending on your hair type, you might need to comb down after every cut or after every guide. Comb or brush down. My hair is straight, so I don't really have to do it. You didn't see me combing down a lot. I'm just doing it just to be safe right now. If you have more curly hair, then you're gonna have to cut down or comb down more often. So now I'm gonna have to take this last guideline down. See right there. So what we're gonna do is use a 1.5 guard. Now, my kit didn't come with a 1.5 guard when I bought it. I had to buy this separately. So if you don't have one, you're gonna have to use a 1 guard open. But before, you were completely touching your head. So before it was like this, and you're flicking out to create this guideline right here. Now you're gonna have to be very, very precise and kind of not touch your head until you can get the nice blend. One tip that I've also seen people do is that so if I have it this way, right on my head, I'm gonna create this guideline. What I can do is put it on an angle. So you can see that it gets progressively longer until you get to your top length. So you're going to be cutting this way. So what I used to do before I had this, is kind of keep it at an angle and cut that way. So when I started the haircut, I did a 2 open. So I'm going to be blending into a 2 close. So the 2 open was for the top. I'm going to be doing a 2 close and flicking up right before I get to the top of my hair, my long hair. So 2 open first, just to make sure that everything is nice and soft, and then go to the 1.5, and then I'm done with it. What are you going to do? Start with the 1.5 open. And again, we're just flicking at the line. I can go a little bit up. I just want the 2 to be up. Pretty much done with the fade, so take a look at the fade. See that's nice and smooth, blurry fade. I'm happy with it. Nice. Now, we're going to do the lineup. So, you can see that my lineup is dark here, so that's good. You can see at the beginning where I didn't go all the way to here. So the first step, don't wet your lineup. I don't like wetting it. I did it once and it is weird. So what you're going to do, comb down the area that you want to line up. If you have long hair, mine gets pretty long. So before we were cutting against the grain, which means we're going up. With the lineup, you're going to go with the grain just to make sure everything's combed and even. So sometimes if you don't know the length that you want to do it, you don't want to go too short, you don't want your lineup to be short. I'm going to start with the 1.5 open and just go with the grain. Again, with the grain does not cut it short, it just combs everything down. So this is to prepare your lineup. Didn't do much, so I'm going to go close it. 1.5. So now my lineup is ready to cut. I'm using my trimmers, so use your trimmers. You can't do a lineup with clippers. These are not meant. So you can do it with no guard, it's not meant for a lineup. These are meant for cutting. Lineups, you use a trimmer. Any sort of trimmer. This is the Andis T-Outliner. What's special about the Andis T-Outliner is that it's called the T-blade. So the corners are sharp, so you can get a nice outline of your lineup. So for your lineup, you're going to start from the middle. Start from the middle, and then work your way to the sides, but don't go all the way to the corners, because at the corners, you're going to make that box by starting off this way. Start from the middle, and sometimes you just want to look down, but just a little bit down, not too much, so you can get the right cut. And always just, you have your lineup there, follow that guideline, never ever push your lineup up. And you don't want to go up from here, you're going to go above. So that's how you get all the long hairs. You're going to go from above and just touch it. You're not going to cut it, like press down, you're going to touch it. There's the top, and if you need more help, you can always use your mirrors so you know what you're doing, see what you're cutting. So now what we're going to do is take the sides. For this is, since you cut it before, you can just go straight on, but so I like to go over the top as well, from here. We'll make that box. Use a corner of the trimmer to make that box. Most trimmers you're able to use a corner. You get a nice sharp box. I'll show you if you had a C cup as well. So if I don't keep a C cup. If you do, you start up from here, and then you're going to use the corners to create that C. So you're going to go up like this. Obviously I don't have anything, so I'm not cutting it, but I have a little bit here, so you can see that the curve is being made. Okay? So use a corner for your C cup. Same thing over here. And now the beard. I just gotta line up the beard. Start off with combing the beard or brushing. And first I'm going to do this side. And again, this you're also going over the top. Same thing on this side. Now, I gotta do this. My beard this time, sometimes I fade it out, but this time I'm gonna make a point. So pick out the height that you want to do. I see it growing here and here. I want it to fill in over here, so I'm not gonna go down here. I'm gonna use this part right here, so I can allow my beard to grow. How are you gonna do it? This is a fade, so if you go down this way, this is where you get the sharp line. If you go down this way, you're not really gonna get it. So this is why I'm going down this way. And on the lineup, you see that I'm going up this way, so that's how I get the nice sharp line. It's like that for most trimmers, so keep that in mind. I'll make that point that I'm telling you guys about. On this side. I'm not shaving this part right, and usually I kind of trim this part right here and line it up, so it's a nice box lined on this part. But it's quarantine, I'm gonna let it all grow up, see what I will, trimming my mustache. So pull that down. And I use a one guard close and just trim that down. I'll start with the one guard open. And if I want to short, I'll go with close. Okay, now I'm just gonna line it up. Now, finishing touch, we'll do the lineup. I think I'm gonna replace the blade because I use that's the blade that I use to shave my head. So it's gonna be a little bit dull, but I use it a lot. Use a new blade to make my lineups nice and sharp. Say for example, if you're doing a C-cup, again, you're going to use the corners. Use a corner of your blade. Something like this. So you get a nice curve. A little heavy there, but I got the curve here. Razor is good because it makes your lineups last longer. Look how sharp that looks too. Looks really good. Looks nice and sharp. Okay, there's the cut. Again, I'm not cutting the top. I'm not trimming my beard. Probably look better if I trim my beard, but I'm in quarantine, so I want to see how much I grow out. And there's a fade. I hope you learned a lot. I normally trim my eyebrows too. Do my eyebrows, but Did my eyebrows 2 weeks ago using same tools, just using my trimmer and razor on my eyebrows. And it's still pretty straight. I'm not letting these lines grow back. So I'm not going to cut it again. Okay, here's the cut. Take a look at the fade. I forgot one more thing. This is the hard part about a haircut. Rubbing alcohol. Since I got a skin fade, there might be some minor cuts, so some rubbing alcohol is gonna really clean out all those minor cuts. And it's gonna burn. You're gonna see me die right now. That initial burn is bad. I still need to do my beard and my neck. No beard and neck's gonna kill. Maybe a bit more on the neck. That's the first one. After that, yeah, probably. I'll do my lineup. That's my haircut. Hope it helps. I hope you see some nice haircuts. Good luck with the haircuts.